enemies have like almost triple the health of what normal does, and they do almost triple the damage. And I was like, well, in my opinion, what they should have done is maybe made a fourth mode and call it very hard, and then make hard mode, like something in between normal and current hard mode. But I did find on Nexus Mods, somebody, yeah, it's like, I know you're probably thinking, well, that's the point. It's supposed to be hard mode. Yeah, but it's not balanced very well. I guess what I'm saying, like normal is too easy and hard mode is too hard. Something in between these two would be like perfect, at least for my personal skill level, I guess, if you will. But I did find a mod on Nexus Mods, because apparently a lot of other people feel the same. So there's actually more than one, but there's a mod that basically allows you to tune, you set it to hard mode, and then you can tune hard mode and dial it down to something that's still harder than normal mode, but not as hard as normal hard mode. I know it sounds ridiculous. I'm not doing that now. I'm playing without mods right now. I don't like to do like mods for a first playthrough. I try to play it the way the developers want us to play it, but yeah, actually I probably need some ammo. Nope, not that. Ammo. Another thing I don't like is her movement, like in the world. So she has like, she'll climb all over shit. She's like a female driver on the road with no steering wheel. It's really weird. Let me get some ammo here. Oh, I only need 6. Oh, I guess so. Okay. So let me show you what I mean. So she'll like, if you're like, on a ledge or something like that, she'll just start walking all over shit. She's not doing it here, but let me see. Yeah, of course. Okay, there she goes. So like, she just climbed up on this, and you may not want her to be climbing on shit, especially when you're trying to like move around in some of the mountain areas, and it can get you killed sometimes because she'll get on a ledge, and then you don't want her to move, and she just kind of goes where the fuck she wants. It's really weird. I don't really need that, I don't think. Oh, okay. What is this? Whoa. Okay, so I'm going down there. What? Okay, what the hell do you want me to do? Go back this way? Oh my God, quit moving so fucking crazy. This looks like a giant tube amp. What the fuck are we supposed to fucking do here?
Boy.
Well, I played Rise of the Tomb Raider and Shadow of the Tomb Raider, but there's a new Tomb Raider game out, or it's not out yet, but it's supposed to be coming out. It looks good. It looks, oh man, it put me back over here. I don't want to be here. I didn't like Shadow of the Tomb Raider. I liked Rise of the Tomb Raider. That was good. And I still have not completed the first Tomb Raider. I think it was 2013. The one that came before Rise. The Rise of the Tomb Raider was pretty good. The thing with Shadow of the Tomb Raider is I felt like I did complete the game, but like a lot of the puzzles were kind of, I don't know. I didn't like the way they did a lot of the, like, you know, because you come into an area, you're supposed to figure out how to, like, you know, get through it. It's kind of like a puzzle. And I didn't like the design of the puzzles that they did for that game. Travel to next area before gate closes. And how am I supposed to do that?
Boy.
Uncharted, a poor man's Tomb Raider. I've got it on the PlayStation, but I've never played it. And I was kind of skeptical on whether I want to buy it on PC or not. I've heard that. I've heard they're good. Wait, no, this is... Oh, I see. We gotta okay. Whoa! Hey, Jenny, let me ask you something. When you play a first-person or third-person shooter game, which do you prefer to use for, you know, for that type of game? Do you prefer to use a controller and aim with a, you know, with the right thumbstick, or do you prefer to use keyboard and mouse or gamepad and mouse? you know, kind of same difference with the gamepad and mouse thing. So they're generous with the refills on the ammo, which is good. Whoa!
Won't let my guard down. Not here.
Jeez.
It can only be opened with the remote panel. There should be one in the control room.
Boy.
Gamepad controller, more especially a third-person games. Whoa, what the fuck? So you're not a keyboard and mouse type of guy as far as like first-person or third-person type of shooter games. Okay, so I guess we have to...
It's open. Let's head to the gates.
Okay, it's not timed like the other one. This is a really cool area. The way they designed it. Oh, okay. First person, I do use keyboard and mouse examples. Something like RE games, I might use a controller, but something like Halo. Yeah, okay. That's what I was kind of thinking. Yeah, like if I'm playing like a Resident Evil game, with the exception of Resident Evil Village, I actually prefer keyboard and mouse because that game is way more like Call of Duty than it is Resident Evil. So you have to be a lot quicker, you know, aiming and shooting things. But like most of the other games, most of the other Resident Evil games, a controller is generally like preferred. But yeah, okay. I was kind of thinking that. So we got PlayStation symbols here. Is there a specific order we need to do? Triangle. Okay. And then what? Cross. Square. Triangle. Oh, I did it wrong. It was supposed to be triangle. Wait, triangle, circle. Oh, okay. Whoa. That's what I mean. She doesn't.
The pattern under your feet is a hint.
I know, but she's running all over the fucking place. Damn woman driver. Let me switch to my other profile. Maybe that'll help.
Boy.
Have you heard of a game, Chronos New Dawn? Yes, I've heard of it. I don't know if it's on my wish list or not. Oh, so we need to jump to the... Okay.
Maybe the pattern under your feet is a hint. Maybe the pattern under your feet is a hint.
I know the pattern. She's just not jumping where I want her to jump.
Maybe the pattern under your feet is a hint.
I have never, in the last 10 years or 12 years I've been playing single player games, I have never had such difficulty controlling my character as I have with this fucking character in this game. The combat is really good, but trying to fucking control her sucks. She just does whatever the fuck she wants. What was it? Okay, circle.
Boy.
I know, man. Like, get the game and you tell me what you think. Like, it's bad. Like, it's really fucking bad. I don't understand how this, like when I looked at reviews, nobody said anything about this. But I was watching this guy. So generally what I'll do when I play a game like this, because I'm kind of playing blind, kind of. I mean, I have to look things up every now and again, but I'll play like 8 hours first day, maybe 8 hours a second day, and I'll go and watch a walkthrough just covering up to the point that I've played up to. So there's like no spoilers or whatever, just to see if maybe I missed something or to see how somebody else did, you know, something, if, you know, be like, oh, that's how I was supposed to do it, you know, something like that. So I was watching this one guy, and, you know, this guy's like really good. His name is, or his YouTube channel is Just Human. He's pretty good. And I was noticing that, you know, he also was having trouble getting the platforming to work. And this guy's already played the game several times, because he does like full walkthroughs, and you have to play the game a few times in order to like take all the notes of where everything is, because he does like those 100% completions or whatever. And I was just like, okay, if this guy, who's clearly a better gamer than me and has played the game more than once, is having trouble getting the character to fucking move the way, you know, he wants it to, it's not just me then, you know. Because sometimes that was my fault, not the game this time.
The pattern under your feet is a hint.
What is it? That was my fault.
Maybe the pattern under your feet is a hint.
Am I? Okay.
Maybe the pattern under your feet is a hint.
It's Korean. Now, I've trashed the game when it comes to the navigation controls, or just like going through the game. But here's the thing. The combat is really good. Like when you're doing any combat with like enemies and things like that, it's really good. It feels like two developers developed this game. One that did like the combat, and one that did like all the platforming and, you know, mobility through the game. It's really fucking weird. You just have to play it for yourself to kind of see what I mean. I've never played a game, like I said, that's had this much, you know, problems just controlling the fucking character. Okay, so we need triangle. I wonder if they're trying to bait me up there. No, I'll just do this. Oh shit. Man, that's funny.
Boy.
Great. Let's move to the next area.
I may be wrong, but Crane Games, there's only a few. There's more Japanese. I don't know, but Liza P was Korean. First Berserker Kazan is Korean, and this game is Korean. And out of all three, First Berserker Kazan is my favorite. It's in my top 10 list. It's probably in my top 5 list. That's an amazing game. You know, minus all the farming you have to do, because there's a retarded amount of farming you need to do in that game. But you can, you know, if you learn how the farming works, you can kind of work around it. Liza P could have been on a similar level as First Berserker Kazan, but they made the parry window so tight that it kind of almost breaks the game. And, you know, I don't give a fuck what other people are going to say. Oh, you just got to get good. I got good. I did New Game Plus. I did multiple playthroughs. The parry window fucking sucked in that game. But I did hear that they nerfed it because a lot of people complained about that. And so I don't know. I haven't played it since, and I didn't buy the DLC yet. I'll probably buy it at some point when it goes on sale or something. I guess we can wait. Is this? Oh, okay. I mean that. But I do tend to be, you know, I do tend to play more, I guess, Eastern games than Western games. Like, there are very few games that are made like in America that I would play. Obviously God of War, I think, is Santa Monica, which I'm pretty sure is an American studio. But I can't really think of too many other American studio games that I play. Most of them are from Japan, Korea, and a few in Europe. Oh. Wow, this looks amazing. Okay. This is Unreal Engine 4. Why do we need Unreal Engine 5? This looks, I mean, obviously this is only one scene, obviously, but, you know, if you look at this game, this is a great example why we don't need Unreal Engine 5. You know, they just keep pushing all this, you know, Unreal Engine 5, which most people can't even run. Funny act, a lot of games, regardless being from America, a lot of the employees help make the games are Asian. Yeah, they probably are. I don't know. I haven't really researched the American studios, but yeah. So you may or may not be aware of like all the memory shortages right now because of the AI data centers, and it's also affecting GPU sales. So one of the things that is, it's so bad that they're actually companies like AMD and even Intel and Nvidia are starting to do this now. They're actually looking, and what they're looking to do is bringing back older hardware to sell that like Nvidia is looking to actually bring back the 40 series cards, and Intel and AMD are looking to, well, I would say more AMD because Intel's still got their chips, but AMD is looking to refreshing their older chips, their CPUs that are DDR4 compatible, because people can't buy DDR5 because of the cost. And I'm just like, that's it. It's crazy. Like I knew this was coming because I've been watching this stuff for a few months. So I bought, extra memory. I've got 2 graphics cards as backups. One of them I'm going to use for another build. But the thing is it's getting so bad with the hardware that all these developers that are pushing Unreal Engine 5, they're going to have to start optimizing their games. They don't have a choice now, because if you hear all these developers that are, it's not, I don't really mean developers. It's the publishers forcing the developers to do it, to use this engine, and basically saying, well, they're just going to have to optimize, or not the optimize, but the consumers are just going to have to upgrade their PCs or buy better hardware so they can play these newer games that they don't want to optimize. And now they can't do that. And I don't know if this is true, but I strongly suspect that Grand Theft Auto 5 was delayed because of this, because they were going to try to push, the optimizations onto the consumer and just say, yeah, you're just going to have to upgrade your PC, or you're going to have to buy, the PS5 Pro or whatever in order to be able to play that game. But they can't do that now because nobody's going to upgrade their PC because they can't. And they're not going to go buying the new consoles because they can't. So now they have to optimize their game. Now, I don't know if that's true as to why they delayed it again, because they did 2 delays. They announced a delay about 6 months ago. I think it was like during the summer. And I don't really care about that game, to be quite honest. I may or may not play it, but I do follow gaming and what's going on in the world with gaming. And then about 3 or 4 months later, which I think was like in November, they announced another delay, and a long delay, like another year. And I was just like, and this was right at the time when people were starting to see that, they can't buy memory and they can't buy graphics cards. And I'm thinking, okay, they're doing that because they have to optimize the game. And now they got to put in another year to figure out how they're going to optimize it, because people are not going to be able to play their game because they can't afford the hardware to play it on. I could be wrong, but it does look very suspicious that. And I mean, we've seen a lot of Unreal Engine 5 games come out, and they're all of them are having performance issues. Every single one of them. Some of them are better than others, but they're very heavy. Which I wanted to ask you, because you said you were playing on Indiana Jones. And Indiana Jones was one of those games that has built-in required ray tracing. You can't turn it off. What's the performance been like for you playing that game? Like, what are your PC specs that you're using, or are you playing it on a console?
I'm detecting a fusion cell in that generator. Let's get it out.
Boy.
Okay, so you don't even have to worry about it. Because that's one of the nice things about console is, you can put it on performance mode and it'll kind of balance out and do the upscaling and everything. Yeah, it probably does. I believe you. That's one of the advantages of actually playing on console, because you can play a game like that, have it upscaled, and it'll still play at a moderately respectable frame rate that it's not going to matter to you. It probably wouldn't even matter to me. I mean, I played Demon's Souls and it played perfectly fine. But if you were to play that on PC, it's probably better to play it on console, to be honest. Oh, we're gonna need a fusion.
We need a fusion cell in order to get out of here.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. That's the thing. Like, a lot of these games just don't run well on PC, because it's not because PC sucks. It's because they don't want to optimize it. Give me 1 second. Yeah, these devs don't want to optimize it, and it's not the dev's fault. It's just the publishers don't want to pay for it. So I'm almost thinking it almost feels like the better pathway for people just to play games is going to push people back to console. Because even if the console, goes up to, like, consoles now are pushing up to $1,000 now. But because PC is in such a bad state with the memory and everything, people are going to go buy the consoles now. And so it actually is probably going to be far better for consoles, especially for Sony. I bet Sony's kind of loving this. All right, we got to find a fusion core. Oh. Oh, is that the fusion core? Okay, so we need to move this. There's another one over there. Hold on, let me... So there's several of these things.
Boy.
Arc Raiders, I see loads of people playing that. Yeah, a lot of people are playing that. It's been real popular. I'm just gonna be honest, I'm too old for games like that. There was a time where those games were a lot of fun, but I just don't get into games like that. I'm so antisocial now, bro, because I hate most people. And one of the reasons I quit playing multiplayer gaming is because of all the cheaters. I just got sick of, like, all the cheaters, man. And I know you're probably going to say, well, there's anti-cheat. There is, but these people always find a way to cheat. They always do, and it just ruins it. I mean, I'm a bit older now. My reflexes are nowhere near as good as they used to be when I was, like, in my, when I was your age. I could still play first person and third person shooters and do fairly well. I mean, it wasn't like, I was just kind of average, I wasn't like amazing, but I didn't suck either. I was kind of just, average like a lot of people. But so many people just love cheating. I think the last first person shooter I played was, I think, Battlefront 2. And I remember playing it, and I was just constantly getting my ass handed to me. And I was like, I've been, I used to play first person shooters and third person shooters like religiously. It was that and MMOs. So I was very obsessed. I was pretty damn good. Not at esport level, nowhere near that good, but I was good enough. And the fact that I could go into these and just like not even be able to compete, I was just like, something is up. And then one day, I think it was like a week or two later, I pulled up a video and they showed people using bots on the game and how they work, because I didn't understand how people were cheating. Once I saw it, I was like, okay, well, I'm done. I'm not playing these games anymore. Because this is what everybody's doing now. They're just, cheating. I don't know why. Why are you cheating in a game? Like, what's the point? You're not really winning. You're cheating. My time's getting a little better. The move for me to single player gaming was the best move ever. Like, I wish I'd have done it like probably 10 years sooner. And it's not just like all the people, it's just a lot of it too is the farming mechanics. Most of these MMOs are all about farming. No cheater, it's relaxed, no pressure, you play at your own pace. Yeah, for like single player games, exactly. Like, I've been so much happier playing single player games that I hate to live with regret, because it's not really healthy, but I do kind of regret playing as long as I did in multiplayer gaming.
Door on the other side's open.
I should have quit a lot sooner than, I did, but I'm glad at least I did and finally moved to single player gaming, because it's just so much, in my opinion, it's actual gaming, because like the type of gaming that you do in like a first person and third person shooter, obviously Dotas and action RPGs are going to be a little bit different because they're a completely different type of game. But when you're playing a first person and third person shooter like Call of Duty or Battlefield or the new Arc Raiders, they have different mechanics, yes, but you're essentially doing a lot of the same thing over and over again. You're shooting another player and they're shooting at you. And yes, there is a skill. I'm not going to say there's no skill involved. It does take skill to be able to compete against other players. But the thing is you do hit a plateau of what your skill level is because you're only doing the same thing over and over again. But with single player gaming, that's not the case, because every time you go to play a single player game, it's you're learning a whole new game. It's like learning a different language because the developer is, a different developer. You don't know what they're bringing. And sometimes they bring something really good and you learn something. Sometimes they don't bring anything very good, but you still learn. Even on the developed games that are not developed good, you're still learning something or whatever. But you do kind of hit a plateau with a lot of these multiplayer games. And this is what Kojima was trying to communicate when he released Death Stranding. But because the translation got all screwed up because, English isn't his first language, a lot of people got angry with him about it. Like, as if he was trashing, first person shooters or third person shooters. And that's not what he was trying to say. He was just basically saying what I'm saying, but he wanted to bring something different. And his game, I wouldn't say it was about skill, but it was a very different type of game. I don't know if you ever played Death Stranding. I know you've seen it. I know you're familiar with it, but it's more of an experience. To call it a game it's it's different. It's a very different experience. But I won't lie, there are times where I do miss like playing Quake or Unreal, like those older first-person shooters. They were a lot of fun. And I could see myself, jumping in and, playing for, an hour or two just for fun or whatever. I haven't done it in a while, but it was a lot of fun. Oh, you know what I learned? So I was thinking of replacing my main display for my couch setup, which I'm using tonight. And I was gonna move one of my other displays in here and then replace my desk display. So basically shuffle my displays. I'd only really be replacing one of them, but I found out that LG, starting with the C4, which is the 2024 model, because if you remember, I told you that these displays only go up to 120 hertz, so you can only run 120 FPS. Technically 116 because you gotta cap your FPS because of the latency. Well, it turns out that the 2024 model, which is C4, and the 2025 model, the C5, go up to 144 hertz. And if you get the G5 or the G4, I don't know if the G4 does, but the G5 goes up to 165 hertz. So you could technically play games on an OLED at 165. Well, you'd have to reduce the frame cap or the frame rate to like, I don't know. I've got a chart that tells you what your frame rate's, because you have to reduce it by a certain amount based on the frame rate or the refresh rate. I don't know what, I think 165 would probably go down to like 158 or something like that, but you would be able to play at a higher frame rate. And I was just like, wow, I didn't know that. So I'm waiting for the new model to come out, the 2026, because it's going to support 165 hertz, but you don't have to get the G model, you can get the C model. However, I would only be able to do 165 at 1440p because of the cable. The HDMI cable can only support up to 48 gigabits of bandwidth unless they come out with another cable. But even if they do, HDMI 2.1 out of both the 4090 and the 5090 can only output 48 gigs, I believe. I don't think it can go any higher than that. So I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't bother with it. But then I thought I could still play games like Cyberpunk, for example, and I could play them at 4K at like 140 FPS, because with performance mode, it's a lot better. And then if I wanted to play like an action RPG, I could play that in 1440p at 165 frames. So it's just options, but it's cool that you can do that now, because we didn't used to be able to do that. Okay.
The laser is on. Let's go down.
Cool. Whoa, whoa. Holy shit, dude. That's a lot of assholes. Oh, shit. So the first or third person shooting here for that is actually not bad because it's got a lot. Whoa! It's got like a large, I guess, area where you don't have to be like super precise. However, doing those drones, that I definitely need keyboard and mouse for that. So I guess we're going back this way. Okay, now that we've got this working, I'm gonna take a wild guess that this probably does damage to you. Okay, so we need to get the laser aimed like a mirror over there. Okay. Okay, it does do damage. Can we not move this? Oh, okay.
Whoa! The test subjects are alive!
What? Oh, can we use the laser on them? Dude, get off me. And they set me up. Yeah, this is not good. Okay. Whoa! Now we're gonna end up blowing this whole fucking place up. Okay, so we need to do it at the... Okay, I'm doing this wrong. Oh, maybe not, because you can't rotate this one. we go in between them? I wonder if we can do that. Yeah, not good. Maybe he'll, yeah, die. Yeah, it doesn't look like it's gonna let us do that. Whoa.
Boy.
It is. It's a cool game. I know I like shit all over the basic like controls, but it is a cool game. I would definitely recommend it, but it's pretty jank on the controls. More so than the norm. Oh, he killed himself. Yeah, come over here. Walk into the laser and die. All right, let's see if we can rotate this now. So we pretty much, whoa. We pretty much destroyed this whole fucking place.
Great. Success.
So I could see doing this room as an achievement without breaking any of them. Obviously, you know, you have to like plan it out, but for a first time, I had no idea what the hell I was doing. Okay, so where is it? Oh, but we need to break this, don't we? Yeah, we need to break that. All right, what? Let's see, we're gonna have to. Wait. So we're gonna need to take this one over there. Whoa. This was originally a Sony exclusive, and then it got released on the PC. So you could probably, I mean, depending on what's more practical for you, it might be better to, you know, get on the PS5. Okay, cool, man. I'll probably be streaming for a little bit longer. I guess we already broke it, so we don't need it. Yeah, okay. Oh, we can't pick this up? Oh, so this is like an extra one if you need it. Oh, okay. So we just didn't need it. All right. This is literally a giant tube amp.
This lab. Do you think humans use this facility to study Naytibas? Or...
Yes, they might have done, Lily. After all, knowing your enemy is often the first step towards defeating them. But this place seems more like a manufacturing facility to me. Okay, here we go.
All the lights are red. I have a bad feeling.
Yep.
The power is out. There must be a power supply somewhere. Damn, we're stuck.